evening. Today is Saturday, November 14th, and once again, no birthdays, no anniversaries, nothing. I don't understand. But if you watched my meeting highlights this week, you saw that I didn't lose any weight. I was so dejected, so disappointed, so discouraged. I'll be honest with you, I was discouraged because we had donuts in the house this week because my brother-in-law had given us, he's a bread vendor, so he had given us some excess donuts that were going to go past the expiration date and they couldn't sell them anymore, a whole dozen, which I didn't have not one donut. And then my daughter had made my husband some cookies for deer camp, chocolate chip and oatmeal. I had one cookie. I didn't eat out at all this week. I stayed on plan. I ate within my points. The only thing I can come up with is that I'm on a plateau. Plateaus are very discouraging. I'm not going to lie. It's very disappointing. I am so discouraged, but I'm not discouraged to the point that I'm going to quit. And as you can see by my picture on my thumbnail, I have come a long way. A lot of times I just have to look at pictures and remind myself of where I was before I hit this plateau. And no, I don't want to go back up there ever again. I just don't ever want to get back there. It's a hard journey, and it's especially hard when you really think that you've been really good. I know that if I was to look back at my tracker, even though I was within my 23 points each day, or within my blue dot, I should say, each day, that there might have been some food choices that I really didn't choose on the right thing. I know from looking at my videos that I eat a lot of food at one time. I'm like the Coneheads from Saturday Night Live. I can eat mass quantities of food. And a lot of times I think just because there are 0 points that I can still eat them, even though I know they're not 0 calories. I know that on my plate I have a lot of food. The problem I have is that I need to just eat 2 big meals and then feel like I'm achieving something. Whereas if I'm constantly eating all day long, like I've tried so many different ways. I have tried just eating 2 meals a day. I've tried eating 3 meals a day. I've tried eating like every 2 hours, you know, like a small little portion every 2 hours. That really was my worst. I just felt, even though I was eating the same amount of points and the same amount of calories in the day, and just stretching it out through the whole day, that I was just constantly eating, and it just didn't feel like, are you on a weight loss program or are you on a grazing program? Because you seem to be grazing all day long. And then that would kind of get me discouraged, and then I would make some poorer choices as far as my food. Nobody likes going into a plateau. I think for the last 3 weeks, I think I've been very diligent with my food choices. And not to say that I was 100% perfect, because I just wasn't 100% perfect. I know I wasn't. But I think I was good enough to lose like a half a pound, at least. Because I can go crazy and gain 3, 4, 5, 6 pounds overnight. I really can. I've proven to myself that I can do that. But I don't understand. I really don't. And plateaus are so hard to overcome because just one day maybe my problem is what's going to happen. And I know this is what's going to happen. I'm just going to get discouraged to the point that I'm going to go, the hell with it. I'm going to eat whatever I want. I don't really care. What's the point? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do and I'm not losing weight. And then I'll probably the following week have a loss. Then I'm into that false sense of security thinking, well, see, I could have ate whatever I wanted all along. What difference does it make? You lost weight. You didn't follow any kind of a diet this week, and look how much weight you lost. You just needed to kickstart your body. Let's try it for another week. Well, then I'll get back into my old eating habits because it doesn't take me long to get back into my old eating habits. And then once I get back into my old eating habits, then I'm going to start eating like that again. And then I'm going to steadily start gaining again. And then I'm going to say, hey, what the heck? Why am I gaining? I don't understand. Why am I gaining? And it's because I'm back eating the wrong way. Whereas if I would have just been patient, which patience is not one of my virtues. I have the least amount of patience than anybody you've ever met in your life. You can ask Jim and he will tell you. I get frustrated opening a jar of pickles, and if I can't get it open, I get so frustrated, I'm not going to even eat the pickles. I get so mad. Rather than take a minute, I have a little hand thing that you put on there, a little plastic thing that opens jars. But that would involve going in a drawer and getting something out to help you. It's like, I'm known for no patience. I'm known for that. Whereas thankfully Jim has all the patience of the world, especially for me, because a lot of times I am like a work in progress, I tell you. But it's just, I just have to have the patience to get through this bump in the road, because it is like a bump in the road. It's a hurdle I have to cross, and I'm just so, be honest with you, I'm tired. I'm tired of crossing hurdles. I'm tired of trying my best. I'm just so tired of trying and staying the same. It's like, why is it worth all this effort? Why is it worth doing this? What am I getting out of it? What benefit is it possibly given me other than frustration? But then I take a step back and I'm thinking, you know what? I know you're frustrated. I know you're discouraged. I know you're disappointed, but look how far you've come. You've lost almost 95 pounds. Look at that just in itself. Almost 95 pounds. I would think of how discouraged I was back then when I was 304.2. I was so despondent and so discouraged and so self-loathing. It's just, I don't want to get back there. And then sometimes I think, is this where my body wants to stay? I think the clue to weight loss is listening to the cues that your body gives you. And maybe my body is just saying, you know what, Sandy, I know you're a little disappointed. I know you're a little discouraged, but you know what? We're a little slow catching up. You're a little bit ahead of us in this race, but you know what? Give us a minute to catch up. Sit down, take a rest. Let us finish our little journey to catch up with you. And then once we're on the same level playing field, then we can both get together and we can start losing weight again. I have to think of something. And so what my plan is for this week, when you reach a plateau, is that you really have to reassess your plan. I have to reassess, am I really, truly, truly measuring accurately? Am I really, really getting that measuring cup up and leveling off? Or am I like scooping it and it's a little bit over and I'm going, well, it's a half a cup. When really it probably is like a half a cup and maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons extra. Now you would think 2 or 3 tablespoons, what difference does that make? Well, they can add up, is my point. They can add up. So I got to think of that. I walk 2 miles every day. 2 miles is enough for me. It really is. But that doesn't mean that maybe later in the day I can't get up and walk another mile, just a mile, or just a little half mile around my block, which would take like 10 or 15 minutes, if that. Maybe just go up and down the stairs to the basement. Just reassess my movement, because maybe I'm just not moving enough. Now that I'm stuck in the house because the weather's getting colder, I'm not going outside. Not that I did a lot outside, but I did some gardening. I did some weeding. I would walk around through the yard. I would go in my swimming pool and, do some things in my pool. Even if I sat on the deck reading, I would get tired of sitting in one spot and get up and move into another spot. Or if the sun was coming from a different angle, I'd move to go with the sun. That's another thing that I need to think of. My food choices. Maybe I'm choosing foods that are a little bit higher in sodium that I'm not really making myself aware of. I know that I eat too much fruit. I bring this up all the time. I know I eat too much fruit. I know there's a lot of vitamins. Sound like I was over in England, vitamins. I know there's a lot of vitamins and minerals in my fruits and stuff, and antioxidants and things like that, but I can get that in vegetables just as easily. I always say this, I love vegetables, Why don't I eat more of them? I don't know. Even the dips that I use, once again, get that tablespoon out, level off the tablespoon rather than scoop up a tablespoon and then put it on, because maybe my 2 tablespoons are really 3. You know, I have to look at that angle too. There's just so many things that can attribute to the fact. And the fact is, my body is just kind of settling in. I know for a fact that my clothes fit me a lot better. I know I should get a measuring tape out and measure. I know that. Because maybe my body is just shifting. I know that, like, looking at myself, I can see that some of my muscles are sagging, and I've got like a little bit more saggy skin and things like that, but that saggy skin is not holding me back. It's just not. I just have to convince myself, because if you can't convince yourself, you can't convince anybody else. And I have all my family supporting me. I mean, I sent my my weight out to all my family this week to let them know how I did this week. And they're also encouraging, not discouraging, all encouraging me, telling me, well, you know, it's better than a loss. It's better than a gain. I know that in my mind. I know that completely. Somebody can say that to me 100,000 million times. They can say it's better than a gain. I know that. I know that. And I know that the scale is just a reflection of how my body is adjusting to gravity and everything else, like they say. But I still let that number. I don't know why, because it's just a number. If I didn't tell you how much I weighed, you wouldn't know how much I weighed. And I don't know why it defines me so much. And that's something else I got to really work on, is figuring out, why does that number make such a difference to me? Why? It's just a number. But it's a number that, I'll be honest, controls my life. And I don't know why it does. I really, truly don't know why it does. I am not depriving myself of anything I really want. Do I miss Taco Bell and Burger King and Wendy's and McDonald's? Yeah, I do. But when I have them, they don't taste as good as I remember. They really don't. I before would never taste, like, I love a good hamburger, just a plain hamburger with like ketchup and mustard and onions from McDonald's. Not like a quarter pounder or anything, just a plain hamburger. But now when I eat just a plain hamburger from McDonald's, I can taste the salt, the sodium in it. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, it's like I'm eating a mouthful of salt in my mouth. But then part of my brain in the back of my head said, yeah, but remember how good they were? Remember how much we enjoyed them? And then I'm thinking, yeah, I did. I really did remember. I really did like them. But they didn't like my body so much because I got way up over 300 pounds. And so I have to look at the good and look at the bad. It's not to say that I'm never going to have a McDonald's hamburger, but I think I can make a homemade hamburger. No, to be honest with you, no. I couldn't even get that out truthfully. I couldn't even get that statement out truthfully. I like my hamburgers that I make at home, but they're not as good as a takeout hamburger, because a takeout hamburger is made on a greasy grill that a bunch of other burgers were made on, and there's like grease building up on it, and that's what makes a burger, is a juicy burger. And but I gotta get past that mindset. I gotta get past that. So anyway, just wanted to get on to let you know that even though I didn't have a loss this week, and I am a little discouraged and I am a little bit disappointed, I realize that I'm in some kind of a plateau. It sucks, big time. I'm not going to lie. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I don't like the alternative. So I have to weigh it. Staying the same or getting back to where I was before. This is always going to win. I'm always going to want to stay the same rather than get back into up to over 300 pounds. So if this is where my body is determined that this is where I got to be, I need to make peace with it. And I think once I make peace with the fact that this is what my body wants to be, it'll reward me with finally starting to go down a little bit more. That's my thought, that's my hope, that's my belief, and that's what I'm going to go with, because I never want to be over 300 pounds. I don't ever want to be over 210. So if this is where I got to stay for another, especially with the holidays coming up, if I can just stay at this for the holidays, that'll be a reward all in itself. Staying the same between now and New Year's Day would be okay. Although I would like to hit Wonderland by New Year's Eve. I'll be honest with you, that's almost 10 pounds. Which it is 10 pounds, exactly 10 pounds. I have to lose 10 pounds between now and New Year's Eve. And if I get discouraged and disappointed and go back to my old way of eating, I can 100% guarantee I won't hit that goal. But if I stay true to myself, stay true to my plan, know that I'm in some kind of a plateau right now, and make peace with that, I'll hit my goal. Okay, I don't really have a lot of plans for today. I know I'm going to Hobby Lobby because they have puzzles on sale for half price. Jim and I do puzzles in the winter. So I'm going to go pick up a couple puzzles to do. And then just stay on track today. Stay on plan. Not go overboard. And have a good day. Because I will have a good day. Because I am getting myself psyched into believing. I'm just at a standstill right now, but it'll get over. I'll get over it. But okay, as always, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I didn't look at my calendar tomorrow, but hopefully we have a birthday tomorrow. We'll see. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Stay safe.